Hello everyone, and welcome back to All Transfer News. Today, we've got the latest updates on our beloved club, Liverpool. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of Liverpool transfer news. Let's get started.
Liverpool ace miss rare golden chance as Arne Slot proven right on 173M trio. Liverpool's 3-1. Defeat to Chelsea, a learning curve or missed opportunity for Arne Slot. Liverpool's recent trip to Stamford Bridge ended in a 3-1 defeat at the hands of Chelsea, but for new manager Arne Slot, the result may not have been the most critical aspect of the afternoon. Instead, the Dutch coach appeared to treat the match as an experimental opportunity, offering several fringe players a rare chance to impress. Yet the question remains, how much could Slot genuinely take away from such a performance? In fairness to the 6 players who were rotated into the starting 11, just a week after Liverpool secured the Premier League title with a victory over Tottenham, the conditions weren't ideal for standout displays. These were players short on match rhythm, thrust into a high-intensity fixture with limited preparation. Still, this is the exact situation they now face. A limited number of remaining fixtures, essentially acting as auditions before what promises to be a busy summer of change. With only 3 league matches left, against Arsenal, Brighton, and Crystal Palace, the window for these fringe players to make a lasting impression is closing fast. Their showing at Stamford Bridge, unfortunately, did little to strengthen their claims for more prominent roles moving forward. Speaking ahead of the match, Slot had downplayed the pressure on his squad players. "They've got nothing to prove to me. I've seen them before, both here and at other clubs like Federico Chiesa," Slot stated. Yet his tone also hinted at pragmatism. Of course they want to play, but it's not a case of automatically rewarding those who haven't featured. "I tried that at Plymouth, and it didn't go down well." Despite Slot's attempts to shift the narrative away from individual evaluation, the performances inevitably attracted scrutiny. Harvey Elliott, in particular, was a player many expected more from. Often praised for his technical ability and creativity, Elliott had a golden opportunity to showcase his talents. Instead, he delivered a performance that fell short of expectations. In the absence of Dominik Szoboszlai, the midfield lacked its usual bite and urgency, a contrast that was glaring. Other players also faced mixed fortunes. Wataru Endo, who has never been earmarked for a regular starting role, was handed a start but failed to leave a significant mark. His inclusion was perhaps more symbolic, a reward for professionalism rather than a strategic shift. Jarell Quansah, meanwhile, began brightly in defense, but saw his composure wane as the game progressed. Given the dominance of Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate in central defense, Quansah's opportunities will naturally remain limited. Curtis Jones offered glimpses of control and creativity in midfield, but the overall unit lacked cohesion. When Slot has had the option, he's relied heavily on a midfield trio worth a combined $173 million. Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister, and Ryan Gravenberch. Even in their absence, or in Gravenberch's case, a partial presence, their stock arguably rose. Gravenberch's misstep that led to a late penalty might be noted, but the overall comparison favored Liverpool's usual starters. On the defensive flank, Kostas Tsimikas put in a respectable shift against the dangerous Pedro Neto. While he didn't offer the same offensive dynamism as Andy Robertson, he held his own. Yet again, the spotlight returned to Elliott, for whom this match might have represented the best chance all season to assert himself. Slot had also promised an appearance for Federico Chiesa before the season's end, and true to his word, the Italian winger was introduced late in the match. Chiesa and young fullback Connor Bradley had minimal time to influence proceedings, and by the time they entered the pitch, the momentum and result had already been sealed in Chelsea's favor. It would be harsh to judge them under such circumstances. So what, if anything, did this game actually reveal? From a tactical and developmental standpoint, very little. Chelsea's push for a Champions League spot gave them more drive, and players like Cole Palmer and Moises Caicedo performed with intensity and flair. For Liverpool's peripheral figures, the fixture represented a lost opportunity to push their cases for more minutes under Slot. Yes, the context was difficult. Stamford Bridge is never an easy ground, and Chelsea were playing with greater urgency. Still, As harsh as it may sound, players like Elliott must make the most of every minute they get. This season has been one of limited opportunities for him, and when they come, he must seize them. There is a degree of sympathy to be had. Squad players don't control their own selection, and when opportunities are scarce, it's not easy to build rhythm or confidence. But with just 3 matches left in the league, there's little time for patience or excuse. Arne Slot shares unexpected Chelsea admission, while Enzo Maresca offers candid verdict on Liverpool. Arne Slot watched his Liverpool team suffer a 3-1 defeat at the hands of Chelsea at Stamford Bridge this past weekend. A result that may not affect the Premier League title race, but still carried weight for several other reasons. In the aftermath, Slot admitted that he was surprised by the distance between his newly crowned league champions and a Chelsea side still fighting for a place in next season's Champions League. Liverpool, who had already secured the Premier League crown a week prior, approached the match with a rotated squad. With the title secured, Slot took the opportunity to experiment with his lineup and hand minutes to players who have largely remained on the fringes this season. Among those given a rare start was Harvey Elliott, alongside Wataru Endo, Jarell Quansah, and Curtis Jones. However, the result and performance left more questions than answers. Despite controlling nearly 66% of the possession, Liverpool struggled to pose a serious threat in front of goal. Chelsea capitalized on defensive lapses and looked more decisive in both penalty areas. Goals from Enzo Fernandez, an own goal by Quansah, and a late penalty converted by Cole Palmer sealed the victory for the Blues. Virgil van Dijk's header provided the only goal for the visitors. Slot acknowledged in his post-match comments that few teams dominate possession at Stamford Bridge due to Chelsea's technical strength. Reflecting on the contrasting result from the reverse fixture, Slot noted, "At Anfield, we saw them dominate possession, and we managed to win. This time, we had the ball, but they were more clinical. It surprises me that we are still 18 points ahead of them given the quality they showed." Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca, speaking to Sky Sports, praised his team's adaptability, especially given Liverpool's high intensity. "Liverpool showed why they are champions," Maresca said. "They forced us to play in a way we don't prefer, defending deeper than we like. But the players adapted very well, and I think we earned the win based on the chances we created." The result leaves Chelsea 5th in the table, level on points with Newcastle United, but only a single point behind third-placed Arsenal. Meanwhile, Liverpool has 3 fixtures remaining, against Arsenal, Brighton, and Crystal Palace, and Slot is likely to continue experimenting ahead of a crucial summer. Slot's strategy for this match was partly driven by a desire to assess players whose futures are not guaranteed. For Harvey Elliott, this was a missed opportunity. The young midfielder, known for his creativity and work rate, failed to make a significant impact, and the absence of Dominik Szoboszlai was clearly felt in the middle of the park. The drop in intensity without Liverpool's usual midfield